as we left it last time, we'd put this first reference shingle in and this one this end and put a string line through and then added a couple more. So then carry on shingling all the way along and you come right over the hips, and the thing to do on the hips, the hip rafters, is this one here was the first one we put in with the string line round the end of it. So then, but just by eye, because you won't have any string line here, just by eye fit the next one to it and cut it off with the centre of the hip with a handsaw, and then put another one on, again just by eye because there's no string line, and this one has to come far enough along so that if you were to extend a line through the centre of the ridge, it would dissect this rafter, leaving at least a little bit extra this side. Okay, so if I moved it 5 along Y40, if you finish like that, that wouldn't be enough. So it's got to come far enough that so if you extended a line through, it would look like this. Okay, so that when you cut the other side along from this side, they meet at a point. So you cut that one up against the, cut that one off against the hip rafter, centre of the hip, and that's what you've got like that. Okay, then I've done this, you do the same the other end. Then what you do now is you install a second row completely on top of this row, not moving them up the roof with an exposure as they call it, just directly on top. And all roofs are done like this. If a roofer's doing a house roof with clay or slate tile, they double up the first row. So I'll just bring some things in, this is for later, I'll hide that. So here's one here, which is, let's hide that. Here's the one here, so here's a second shingle. You don't need the string line anymore, you just put it directly on top of the first shingle, but you don't want to produce this gap. So what you do, when you start putting this second row on, you have to place it so that it covers the gap below, like that, by at least 25 or 30 millimeters. Okay, I can delete that one for now. So I've put the whole second row completely on top of the first row. Again, as you put each one on, so I put this one on here, cut it, then we put this one on here, cut it, and then that one and the same the other end. So that's the first row completely done, doubled up on top of each other, but as you can see, the second row that you've put on top hides the gaps of the first row. Okay. Now you're ready for your proper second row of shingles. This shingle will go again to the top in line with the top of the batten. If I bring that down a bit, 5 along K minus 5, 5 along K, well, went the wrong way there, 5, that's just in the wrong position, that's all. Okay, it's not that accurate, it would be down a bit more, but this is just a computer program. So that, I'll tidy up in a minute. The next row, the top of the shingle, again flush with the top of the batten. And what you do this time is you hook your tape, let's hide that for a second, you hook your tape measure on to the top edge of this batten where your next shingle's going, and you measure down onto these shingles 405 millimeters and do a pencil line. Okay, come this edge or this end and do the same, not right over the end, you know, anywhere here would be good. So let's move it. I'll put one there. 6 on Y, 2 a point, 5 along Y minus 80. Okay, so now that one's there. That one goes there when it goes, and on this end you would measure down 405 millimeters and do a pencil line. And in fact that's where that shingles, the bottom of the shingle is going to go on that pencil line. Do another one in the middle, so put your tape in the middle somewhere just by eye and measure down 405 millimeters, because you'll need a straight edge, and this is my representation of a straight edge, you know, a nice piece of straight timber or a 6 foot or 8 foot spirit level. So this is representing my spirit level. So you've measured down your 405 millimeters, done a pencil line, push your or place the top edge of your spirit level on that line at 405 millimeters, J, and fix in a shingle. Okay, so you've got a pencil line, don't do this end yet, you've got a pencil line in the middle here, around, or could be along here if you want, 405 millimeters. Put the other end of the spirit level or your straight edge to that, so that the top edge of your straight edge is 405 millimeters down from this batten, the top edge of the batten where your shingle is going to go. Okay. So if I just measure that, 0, 100, so 107, and then just put all your shingles in using your straight edge as the reference for the bottom of the shingle. So I'll do that now. Copy. Copies. 12. Y. Value 100. I'm just doing this as I go. Okay. Again, this time being careful, because I've just used all the same size shingle to make it easier for myself. But you pull them out of the pack as you go, but again they've got to cover the gap below. If you put a shingle on and you know you've lined it up with the same edge as the shingle below, you'll get a gap. So you can't use that shingle, use a wider one or a thinner one. Okay. Join 6 along Y, so you're looking like this, 6 along Y to a point, 5 along Y to my gap of 7 millimeters. There you go, and then keep coming along to the end of the building. Move your spirit level along, 5 along Y, 600, okay. 5 along Y, 1800. Sorry, I moved all the shingles with it there. 5 along Y, 1800. So, you know, when you need to, move your straight edge along, and that gives you something to reference your shingles against. And again, when you get to the end, just keep them sailing over and cut each shingle off with the centre line of the hip as you fix it down.